In this video, I'd like to illustrate converting an exponential function to a log function or a semi-log function. So what we're going to begin with is an exponential function. Y is equal to 2 times 10 to the power of 1/2 x, and we're going to define capital Y to be equal to log base 10 of little y. We replace little y with its definition, 2 times 10 to the power of 1/2 x, and using properties of logs, we see that this is equal to log of 2 plus 1/2 x. And remember, this is log base 10. So what we have is capital Y is equal to log of 2 plus 1/2 x. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take the logarithm of the vertical axis. So for example, this point 100 is going to be corresponding to the point 2. The point 1000 is going to correspond to the point 3 in the logarithmic scale. And this is what we get when we apply the transformation. So notice that the curve has transformed to a line, and now on the vertical axis, instead of going from 0 to 1000, we go from 0 to 3. But this 1 does not correspond to little y equals 1. It corresponds to big Y is equal to 1. That is, little y is equal to 10 to the power of 1, which is equal to 10. So this point 1 on the vertical axis corresponds to little y is equal to 10. Similarly, this point 2 on the vertical axis corresponds to 10, little y equals 10 to the power of 2, which is 100. So between 1 and 2 on the vertical axis, little y is actually increasing from 10 to 100. So there are 90 of little y units from 1 to 2, but it only increases 1 in magnitude. It goes from 10 to the power of 1 to 10 to the power of 2. This point corresponds to 20, and this point corresponds to 30. And we can continue, and this point corresponds to 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. Notice how these hash marks bunch together as we increase from 1 to 2 on the logarithmic scale. And we can do something similar between 2 and 3 as well. 3 corresponds to little y equals 10 to the power of 3, which is 1000. This point corresponds to 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900. So when dealing with the log scale, we see that the bigger little y is, the more their logs get bunched together. So if we look at the blue hash marks between 1 and 2, those blue hash marks increase by, little y increases by 10. But those same blue hash marks from 2 to 3, little y is increasing by 100. So this is one of the things that we have to watch out for when we are interpreting a semi-log plot. I hope this video has been somewhat helpful in understanding what happens when we transform from an exponential function to a logarithmic function.